I mean, I have to say, when I heard that, like, people actually watch this show, I was actually.
What's up, everybody? Let me pause that shit real fast. Oh. What's up? Oh, fuck, my mouse. Alright.
Fuck your mouse.
Yeah, it would probably die. Depending on the size of your penis, but yes.
For those of you just tuning in, we just got done fucking a mouse to death, and it only took one of us. I was willing
Guess
to help.
which one?
I was willing to help.
And for the embarrassment factor, one of us tried to fuck it to death first, and it failed. It actually just gave the mouse a lot of pleasure. So what's up, everybody? Sports and Shenanigans podcast, coming at you live. So I guess let's just kick it right off with football. I got a stomach full of pizza. Haven't had pizza in about a week or so, which is kind of actually a long time when you're my age. You just eat way too much pizza, it seems like. But yeah, so we got a stomach full of pizza. I got my lovely Miller High Life beer. Yeah, and I'm ready to talk about some whatever.
And Ginger is still working on his first fresh hop IPA from Sierra Nevada. Loving it, by the way. High Life will be my next choice.
All right.
And before I forget, the opening little montage that we have going at the beginning of our podcast, every time I see it, I love it more and more. I gotta say. And I think it was when you get to the football plays, on the second to last play, you see someone running back go in, pause, and then go around the side and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
I saw the Raiders do that today to Kansas City.
Oh, God.
Their first rushing touchdown against Kansas City, and it was the Raiders. The Oakland Raiders. Oakland fans rejoice. Not only did you beat the mighty KC, but you've also done what no other team has this year and scored a rushing touchdown. Good job.
Okay, that was the first rushing touchdown against KC?
First rushing touchdown against KC since week 16 of last year.
Wow, that's pretty crazy, dude.
Which I think was Colin
That's
Kaepernick.
actually, like, extremely good. Man, but that game, I did not predict that one correctly. I gave it to KC by 13, I think.
You know what? I don't think anybody in the country predicted that one correctly. In fact, I'll bet the odds were not only astronomical when it came to the smart guys in Vegas, but I'll bet you even Oakland fans predicted KC to win.
Yeah, I was going to say the only people that predicted it wrong were probably, like, delusional Oakland fans. So, yeah. Well, I guess you can't get them all right. And I knew after I picked them to win, I was like, I'll just text Ginger and I'll be like, Kansas City by 13. But like right before I sent the text, I had this feeling in my soul that was like, Oakland's got to win sometime, right? They have to win eventually. Maybe it's today.
And they're at home.
No, I'm being ridiculous. Let's send that shit. Like,
yeah. And you were being ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as Oakland winning that game.
Yeah.
Though they played their asses off. And this new rookie of theirs, Derek Carr, I think is his name. Mm-hmm. He's not too bad. I mean, he got thrown into some bullshit, and he lost 10 games in a row and still played his ass off today. It was impressive. I mean, you'd think there'd be, what, downhearted? What's the word for that? Crushed?
Downtrodden.
Yeah. Melancholy, even?
They would just be complacent. They're just like, it's football games, whatever. You go out there, you walk around for a while, you lose by 30 points. What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? We're getting paid anyway. Let's just go out there and try as hard as we can to get a better draft pick. Though, those of you who've been watching a lot of football lately, you've noticed that New England this week, they had a breakout star in their rookie running back, something Gray. His last name was Gray, who ran for over 200 yards, which was impressive on its own.
Yeah.
Oakland also had a guy. I think it's his second year actually, but it was his first time really getting a lot of snaps, or his second time actually. I guess he did pretty good last game, and so they gave him some more snaps this time. He ran for 117 yards in the first half before he got a concussion and went out of the game.
Damn.
He had he was the one that got that first rushing touchdown. And then he also went for he had a 90-yard return, which put the Raiders up by 2 touchdowns. Which KC eventually ended up.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know his name or no?
You know what? We can look it up. We've got the stats right here.
All right.
All I know is that his last name is.
While you're doing that, I just want to put like the little asterisks by the side of this victory on Oakland's part. Kansas City did lose 2 of their core wide receivers for this game. So if they had those guys, I don't know if Alex Smith would have gone down to the Raiders or not. It's hard to just, say with surely say that they would have won if they had those 2 guys, but it would have definitely given them a better chance to make 4 more points, maybe a key third down here or there, or a big pass play down the field. So
it is hard to say. It reminds me when Alex Smith was playing for the 49ers, and that was before we got Anquan Boldin from the Ravens. And we still had, all we had for receivers was Vernon Davis, and Michael Crabtree was still out with his ACL injury. So all defenses had to do was slow down Frank Gore, and the 49ers offense was shit. So all the Oakland defense had to do was slow down Charles, the star running back for Kansas City, and he had nobody to throw the ball to. So, did you figure out what the guy's name was?
Yeah.
Latavius Murray?
Yep. Damn.
What were his stats for the game?
4 rushes for 112 yards.
4 rushes for 112 yards?
He averaged 28 yards per rush.
What was his longest run?
90. So that was, I think, the
90.
punt return, I think you said? Or
I don't know. It was after I turned off the radio, so I missed that one.
Oh, okay. So that could have just... I don't think they would have counted a punt return as a rush.
They may have.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't really know.
It was probably just a 90-yard rushing play.
He was probably just doing awesome.
Jesus, that's a long one, too.
Yeah, I had turned off the game. I mean, Kansas City was roaring back in Kansas City fashion. They were down by 2 touchdowns. They tied it. They got ahead with a field goal. They were dominating defensively. They were going into this game. They had only given up 28 points total in the fourth quarter all season long. In 10 games.
Yeah,
28 points total, leading the league by far.
I didn't realize that their defense was that good. Like, I guess it's pretty good.
Well, let's look.
They hadn't scored a rushing touchdown on their defense.
In yards per game, Kansas City is leading the NFL in defensive yards per game. Second by the Dolphins. Yeah, nice job. And Crazy K, who's not here because she's watching a movie, is...
Dude, Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games.
I'm so cool and hip with the youngins. Oh. The Hunger Games. What is it? What is it? Catching Fire? Which one is it?
Wait, no, it was...
Mockingjay?
Mockingjay, part 1.
Part 1. Yes, they had to make 2 parts of it.
Oh, yeah, they're going to make way more money having 2 movies.
Yes, twice as much, theoretically.
But her team is the Seattle Seahawks, and they're 3rd place in the league in defensive yards per game. And anybody want to guess who 4th place is? San Francisco! Woo! And
yeah, up top for top 5 defense, baby.
I'll accept it. They need it so they can't score.
Dude, the Dolphins have the same problem, dude. All that we can do is kick field goals.
Well, the 49ers made it to an NFC championship that year with David Akers kicking all of our highest scoring 49er ever was David Akers, our kicker. That year they went to the NFC championship.
That's just hilarious to me. I don't know. Because it shows a lot. It really shows a lot about your team's ability to, like, get the ball moving and, like, turn the ball over in enemy territory. But it doesn't say good things about your red zone offense.
Well, and a lot of those, they didn't even make it to the red zone. I think David Akers could just hit those 6. Well, up until last year, he was tied for the longest field goal in history, too, with that 63-yarder, too. So that guy, he's got a long leg. I don't know how many times the 49ers, all they had to do was get into enemy territory. They didn't even have to make it to the 20-yard line. They just had to get to the 45-yard line, and their kicker would nail it.
You know what's crazy is when you see the kickers make those plays, it's like they're kicking like a 55-yard field goal or something like that, and they just right down the middle, boom, and then it's just like, it's good, and it's like going through the top of the uprights, and the announcers say something along the lines of, that was good by like 15 yards. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's like, then they go up for like a 30-yard, chip
or
in.
a 24-yard field goal.
And they're just like, whiff. I just imagine it myself, because like, when I used to shoot hoops in basketball, like recently, whenever I shoot a basketball, I'll be like, all right, let's do some free throws here. Okay, now let's like move to 3-point range. Like, when I was littler and I could just barely make half-court shots, that's all I would do is, like, shoot half-court shots. And then I ended up getting pretty good
at 1
at...
out of 5 or
yeah,
so?
I got pretty good at making half-court shots, but then, like, what are you going to do in a real... Like, because your accuracy at half-court shots is still going to be far below, like, 40%, 30% to actually, like, contest other people at that game. You have to be able to, like, get more consistent shots in, not just, like, hit those long-ass ones once every 4 tries,
Yeah. Unless you got Dennis Rodman on your team, then he'll get your rebound anyway. But remember that guy? Wow. Ooh, I just had a flashback with
and
that.
he just
bright orange
he's
hair
like
of
a Korea lover now.
Oh, yeah,
North Korea fanboy.
Yeah, but he's a good buddy with the North Koreans.
Kim Jong Il. Yeah, apparently they were have you ever heard that thing where it's like Kim Jong Il or Kim Jong Un, sorry. He like had when he first became the what is it, the dictator of North Korea?
That's what the rest of us are calling it. I think he calls himself the prime minister.
The prime minister, maybe?
Or
okay.
president, maybe?
Yeah, one of those two. Basically the overlord of North Korea. There were all these hilarious not ad campaigns, but like propaganda campaigns that went out from the local medias that he basically forced him to write these articles about him, about how he like the first time he ever went golfing, he hit a hole-in-one on every hole. And like how he beat, like when Dennis Rodman was here, he like beat him one-on-one in basketball and shit. Like, I'm just like, that is hilarious. Why are they? Because I mean, in that culture, that man is pretty much considered to be somewhat of a god. Like, you know how in ancient Egypt, it's like there's the pharaoh, and he's not just considered another man that's you bestowed like power upon. He was actually bestowed his position by the gods, and he actually possesses like superhuman abilities. So it's just weird, like, because we would never think of Obama as a person who's like, oh yeah, Obama can hold his breath for like 14 minutes underwater. Like, nobody's gonna believe that fucking shit or ever want to say that about Obama. Like, that's just a weird like cultural difference that happens with, especially kind of like, I would say more primitive cultures, not to sound racist or anything like that, but it's like not necessarily first world countries tend to like get these really what's the word? Just unrealistic, or just uneducated opinions and things about their leaders sometimes.
I think it goes beyond embellishment. That's just,
yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for.
It's silliness.
Yeah.
What was that movie? There was a movie that came out where there was something about this overlord we're speaking of, where it had something to do with, it was derogatory towards him, and so he threw a big old fit. And, like,
are you talking about Team America World Police?
No. It was something more recent than that. It was something that just came out. I guess,
or
it was about to come out.
The one that was with Seth Rogen and James Franco. I forget what it was called, where they have to like pretend they're gonna go write a piece of journalism about him, but they're actually going over to assassinate him.
Oh yeah, that's right. One of them's a journalist, and one of them's his boss. I don't remember which one's playing which character, and then they have to go over and they're gonna assassinate him. And
I think they're still making that movie.
Oh yeah, because in America we have this freedom of speech thing.
Yeah.
And apparently Kim Jong Un is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually said it out loud, but apparently he was so pissed off that he threatened. According to the story anyway, it could have very well been a National Enquirer or a TMZ thing, but he was apparently he's very passionate about this movie, and if that movie gets released, he's going to declare war on America.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
I don't know if he's actually going to follow through with it, or if he even said that.
See, this is just something that I find so fucking ridiculous about, like, especially, like, just cultural differences. Whenever, like, a fucking movie, even if it's a terrible movie, I forget the name of this movie, but there was this horrible movie that was made, and it was made by, like, some Christian, director, and it basically made people of a Muslim, like, radical Muslim faith look like a bunch of fucking crazy people. Which, you want to know what I think? I think that they represent themselves, like, radical Muslim people, that's how they fucking represent themselves anyway. As crazy people that will murder you over the most ridiculous things. Like, just because you don't agree with, like, the direct verbiage of, you know, the Quran or something like that you misread or misinterpreted the Quran in some fucking way that's
or just
like
simply interpreted it in a different way.
yeah,
than they
you're like
did.
an infidel, and they want to exterminate you or whatever.
It's hard to throw stones. How many Christians do you know that if you don't go to the same church they do, if you're not the same version of Christianity as they are, you're freaking not even worth living? And
Well,
you're the one case they agree on abortion. And
well, they're not gonna go kill you. They just think that you'll burn in hellfire for eternity.
oh yeah.
It's a slight difference, but yeah, I don't know. I really think that whole cultural, like, you know, unnecessary defensive position of your culture is insane sometimes. Because there was
You
this
need to
bad
have a
Christian
sense of
movie.
humor.
There was this bad Christian movie that was made, and these Muslims like started rioting, and you know, blowing shit up and whatever. And I'm like, dude, they're like saying, oh, America's gonna get it for this one, and this movie sucks ass, dude. You look at it and it's like, why would you get so worked up over this horrible fucking movie? Like,
This is how Americans see us?
like,
Oh,
it's so corny and it's so poorly directed,
There's
so
probably
poorly
16
scripted.
people in America even watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no one's fucking seen it. The only reason I knew about it is because of the news story where it's like, I don't even know how they saw it. God, it's just like, I
Have a
feel
sense of humor,
embarrassed for the
people.
human race sometimes in the way that they interact and, like, you know, just like react to stuff in general. Like, everyone is overly sensitive and just gets all fucking worked up over the smallest shit sometimes.
Yeah. Please, if your race implies certain stereotypes, embrace them. Please, just have a sense of humor about it. You can call me a cracker all day long. You know what? For a large part of my life, the television I watched sat on top of one that didn't work. I count as a redneck, okay? It's okay. It really is. Black people really do have curly hair.
And giant penises.
And giant penises. And
Is that a bad- is that a
Mexicans really are
stereotype
good
that-
at sheetrock. Yeah.
Dude, that's so true. That's so fucking true, though. Yeah, but, like, I don't know, man. I'm so tired of this. Like, I wish people would just not get so, like, okay, if you think somebody else has a stupid idea, don't freak out, like, threaten them with violence and, like, or throw a bitch fit. Just present an argument or, like, represent yourself in a way that makes them look stupid and ridiculous. You know, like, if what you believe in and what you're doing has merit, that shit should always stand on its own, and people around you will realize that. It's not up to you to, like, be the arbiter of your own fucking religion. If you're a good Christian person and you, like, follow the Bible, and people can't really come up to you and just be like, you're a shitty person, because you're not being like the Westboro Baptist Church. You're not making all these ridiculous statements where it's like God hates fags, and kill all the lesbians, whatever. Like, you're not doing that because, like, to be honest, being a good Christian has nothing to do with wanting to, like, cause violence towards people who are homosexual or people who are, you know, like, don't believe the same thing as you.
You know, those people skip over most of the Bible and just read the parts they like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a number of people who who will follow the Bible, but not, like, yeah, you said it perfectly. Yeah. Like, they'll skip over things that are, you know, they might see as, like, you know, oh, I don't want to give up shellfish. Come on now. But fags, I fucking hate fags. Let's make a riot and, you know, like, burn down the church that allows gay marriages, you know.
Yeah. Even though if God created everything, he created gay people too.
Yep.
And anyways, yeah, keep your secrets. If they don't believe you that you're a nice person, keep your secret. You don't have to convince them. You really don't have to.
And don't get so fucking worked up if people have a negative perspective of you. Haters gonna... Have you ever heard haters gonna hate? Haters gonna hate. We're gonna get... Let's see. What is it? Copyright? Well, one of our things had a copyright claim against it, so I had to re-upload it. And so...
Oh, which one was it?
Yeah, if I go like, haters gonna hate. But I do, like, every note on key, which I know that wasn't, but, like... If I did every note on key, because I've heard a thing of a guy singing a song. I forget which song it was, but his video got restricted due to copyright claims, just because his voice was so close. Because they, like, do it with sound waves. His voice was so close to actually matching the song that his video got banned from YouTube. I was like, dude, that sucks because you're like obviously a really good singer.
Well, hopefully it made it to the Today Show or something.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we should probably get back to football.
Excuse me.
We had a little tangent there, but yeah, I think I like tangents. They're okay. So back to what we were originally talking
Holy
about.
crap! I thought I picked KC by 10. I picked him by 22. Oakland.
Fail.
Damn it all to hell. Jenkins, why couldn't you have just played hurt?
Oh man, Chris is salty, guys.
You could have had crutches or something, and they still would have had to put a defender on you, which would have opened up somebody else. But no, let Oakland rush for however many yards they got. Not fair.
180 total.
Every blowout I predict, I'm wrong anymore.
Don't predict blowouts, man. I've only been predicting by like 14 points or less for like every game now.
Well, I get all stoked about, or I get all confident about it because of how many times I've guessed it right. You know.
Yeah.
You guess it right a couple of times, or it's like when you're playing poker, and you know you shouldn't play 6-4, but you do, and it wins. It even wins 2 or 3 times. So you play it every time. Well, it's not gonna win every time.
So stop playing 6-4 so much.
Yeah, just because it worked once, or just because it worked for the guy that was in the hand against you, doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Okay, you know what? Actually, 6-4 does work for me all the time. Okay, let's do
I'm
Jack
gonna
4.
fix your camera real quick because we had
The problem is,
camera issues where you could only really see our heads.
yeah.
That's a little better.
We need to zoom in so you can see how how ginger my beard is.
Unnecessary. So, all
Ready?
right.
I'm clicking with my remote. Zoom, 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 zoom.
So,
zoom,
okay,
zoom,
so
zoom,
we were talking about
Zoom out. Woo!
special effects, guys. It's the 21st century.
Get
Get
some.
used to it.
Now we need a tiger. We need him to start growling.
So we were talking about KC, and one thing that I realized about this game, what they had and lost against the Raiders, is like, they were tied with the Broncos until today. And if they had won this game, they would be ahead of the Broncos within their division. And
But instead,
now they could have like maybe actually taken that division out from underneath the Broncos, which would have been insane and awesome. I think that would be awesome.
that
if
would have been
happened.
awesome. But instead of being 8-3, they're 7-4, and the Broncos play. Who are they? Whose ass are they gonna? Oh, you know what? They're playing against Miami. They're playing in Denver though.
Yeah.
We'll get to our predictions later, huh?
Yeah. Well, I haven't even got to talk about the Packers and their 3-week stomp fest.
Oh yeah.
Like the Packers, you remember how the Steelers beat the Colts, and then the Steelers beat who was it? The team they beat the next week. That was actually a pretty good
Oh,
team.
the
They
Steelers.
stomped.
It was. We're gonna find out right now.
All right. Well, anyway, the
Alright.
Steelers go and just own 2 good teams in a row, and now the Packers, dude. The Packers have gone on like a 3-game, like 20+ point win streak. And they are just putting up so many points. It's insane. They're always capitalizing on their field position. Like, they get a touchdown every... Okay, what do they have? 53 points? So, and what was it? Like, he got 5 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns in the first half or something?
Roethlisberger?
No. Aaron Rodgers in this last game.
Oh yeah.
It's just
It
insane.
was something gnarly. Here, that will be on
And
this one.
this not only do they outscore the Eagles by 33 points. I mean, they outscored the Eagles by 30. Like, this isn't a shitty Eagles team right now.
No, they were in the top 5 in power rankings
like,
for a while.
even if the Eagles defense, which I don't know how it's doing right now, I don't really follow the Eagles defense because I've been more concerned about their offense. Their offense has been crazy good. But they like weren't they the ones that beat the Cardinals? No, they weren't. No, the Cardinals beat them. Damn, the Cardinals are so good.
I know. I was really hoping Detroit would pull one out against them, but they can only score 6 points against that amazing defense. How is Arizona not in the lead for defense?
You know what we should do is pull up the power rankings again.
Let's do it.
I wonder who. Okay, let's see if we can guess the top 5.
NFL power rankings.
Don't look at it yet.
You're right. I was gonna pull this down, but
Alright.
it didn't hear me.
So, all right, let's just propose our top 5. So I'm gonna say in no particular. All right, we'll
Where's my
try to
pen?
do a
Where's my
particular
pen?
order.
You gotta write it down. Oh, damn it all to hell. I had a pen. Oh, I got it. I have it.
All right. So I'm gonna say number 1 because now that we bring it up, Arizona seemed like maybe a number 1 in the power ranking. So I'm gonna say number 1 Arizona.
Okay.
Number 2 Green Bay. Number 3 New England. Number 4. Number 4 the Broncos.
Good call.
Number 5 Dallas. I probably left one out that I'm gonna be face palming about in a second.
All right, NFL. Where are we? All right.
Oh, you don't want to do your own?
No, I will. But first, we're gonna pull this up so you can adjust it if you want to. Okay, so yeah, the Pats. Nobody cares about the Bengals.
No, let's just go off of what we
Broncos.
just what we've seen, like what we know off the top of our heads. Because it's not fair to if you look at it, it's
Well, no,
gonna be a little bit
I'm talking
easier.
about just looking at the NFL standings right now and what teams are leading.
I know.
And really, I think you hit it right in the money. I think I'm gonna go with the same 5 teams. It's just the order. Because right now, Detroit's ahead of.
Oh, I forgot about Detroit.
Well, no, Packers are. Well, so far the Lions are doing better in their division. The Packers are 3-1. Detroit's 2-0. But once Detroit plays the Packers again, they're. You know what? I'm still picking Green Bay to win that division, but. No.
So the Lions are ahead of the Packers in that division right now.
Yeah, right now. But you know what? If we're picking the top 5, I don't see Detroit in the top 5. Not with the 5 teams you just said. You know what? I'm going to agree with those exact 5 teams. I want to change the order up a bit just because I can't be the same as you. Even Dallas. I'm not as big of a fan of Dallas as...
Yeah, I would say maybe you could get rid of Dallas. Cause
Yeah, but who's
I was thinking of Dallas from like 4 weeks ago or something like that.
I don't know, they can pull it around. Tony Romo's back, and they haven't really lost anybody else yet.
All right, just go ahead. You can just go ahead and do your 5. We'll see who's closer.
Yeah. Damn it all to hell. You know what? I'm going to go Arizona.
This young Arizona team just impressing everyone, dude. Nobody saw this shit coming except for Bruce Arians. He knew in his head coaching abilities that he would be able to create a winning football team. Burp. Excuse me, guys. That was a very disgusting, deep burp.
You know, I love the Packers, but I'm still going to give them 4th place right now because they haven't had the same schedule as Denver. They haven't had to beat the same type of teams that Denver has. So I'm going to put Arizona 1st, New England 2nd, because 1, I'm super impressed by that Gray guy I was telling you about.
Okay.
And they've got Gronkowski back, and Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I'm giving.
I don't know
New
what
England
it like. I'm pretty sure that like Tom Brady and Gronkowski's like railing Tom Brady in the locker room once everyone leaves on each game. They have some like unmatched synergy in the game of football. Like, and the only way I can imagine that happens is dick to ass penetration. It gives you extra super football powers. That's why that one dude, who was it? That guy that was drafted to the Rams, was it Sam Bradford?
No, it was Michael Sam.
Michael Sam.
Yep.
The gay Rams player. I bet
He ended up on the Rams.
I bet he liked getting rammed.
How did he end up on the Rams? That is horrible. Oh man, what were you doing? Like they told you, can you go play for us? You said yes. What were you thinking?
If there was a team called like the Brooklyn Dongs, he would have been on that team. Well, you're pretty much just at home with us, because our name is basically just a phallic symbol.
And it turned out, with all that hype and all that controversy, he was even cut by the Rams. A team that's losing their division, so they're obviously not fantastic, but they're good enough to beat Seattle and San Francisco.
I bet one of the reasons
Denver.
he was cut, I don't know about how good his football playing ability was, because, I mean, the story was like, all emotional and stuff. Never saw the guy play in college. I'm not a huge college football guy.
Neither
but
am
the thing is that if he's going into St. Louis, we know that's in Missouri, which is a state in the South. The South is like the Bible Belt.
And you got a black gay guy.
Yep. So I'm just gonna come out there and say I bet it was really tough for him to be on a team that existed down there, because, I mean, to be honest, doesn't matter about his playing ability. I bet a bunch of the players hated him for being gay. I bet a bunch of the fans hated him for being gay. I bet it just made the organization have a hard time, just after they made that decision. I bet it was just tough for them to hang on to that guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised the 49ers didn't pick him up, because San Francisco is sort of known for having a bunch of gay guys, right?
That would have gotten them so many awesome fans in the stand, holding up hilarious signs,
The stand's filled with
guys. It's like Michael Sam. Let me.
Red and gold
have you
and every
practiced
other color in the
baseball?
rainbow.
Because you could be my pitcher. Do you play baseball too? All right.
But instead, we got the other controversial player. We got Jonathan Martin, the guy that got bullied in the locker room in Miami.
Yeah.
God, if we'd have gotten both of those guys.
Oh, there would have been a whole new kind of bullying going on. It's called ass bullying. With my penis. All right. Go ahead and look up the power rankings so we can
Man, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. All right.
You want to talk more about gay and bullyable players?
Well, not that I have any interest in gay bullying. Did you ever see that movie called Big Bully or The Bully or something? Or maybe it's just called Bully, about the guy that...
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was the guy that was... Well, he was the young Connor in, I think, the third Terminator. The actor, I don't know his name. Anyway, he was in this movie, and... Anyway, he was a total dick, right? And very masochist, everything else. And his best friend, who he's been bullying and just treating like shit, there's a scene where he's ass fucking him.
Oh God!
Totally raping him. And
wait? And they're still little kids?
Oh no, not any. At this point, they're late teens, young 20s, probably.
Okay.
I haven't seen this movie in 10 years, but it was a well done movie. But it was.
So anyway, and one scene that ass fucking.
Yeah, there was some ass fucking. Poor guy. NFL power ranking.
Is that the end of the story? Now I'm hanging here, just got this image, just whipped up this image of male on male action going on. It's and I'm gonna leave you hanging on that one.
Watch the movie; it's great.
If that's your kind of thing, young men pounding each other's asses.
Whoa, I went way too far. Alright, you guys. According to the power rankings by Sports Illustrated, I don't know how much credit we're putting in that, but the Patriots are number 1.
Ah.
They got New England number 1 and Cardinals number 2. The Packers number 3.
Yeah.
The Chiefs number 4 and Broncos number 5.
Really? I think the Chiefs drop after tonight. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs drop after tonight. I don't know if just 6.
You know what? This says
6 or 5.
It says their record's still 7-3, so they haven't included. Wait, no. Yep. So they have not included this game in there.
They moved up. Who did they beat that made them move up? Oh, Seattle.
They beat a couple of guys, but they got Philadelphia Eagles still at number 6.
And that was after their loss.
And Lions, and then 49ers, and then Cowboys.
Huh. All right.
I mean, I'm a 49ers fan, but we really haven't been playing that well. I mean, our defense is
I'm surprised they're that high up as well.
Well, it's got to be our defense, because the 49ers defense is BA. I mean,
they are 6-4. There's a lot of 6-4 teams right now, man.
Yeah, that are
if
really
you're gonna
good, yeah.
if you're gonna rank the 6-4 teams, I would put the Niners definitely in the top 3.
And the 49ers are playing in arguably one of the toughest divisions in football right now. In fact, going into the season, everybody was talking about how tough that division was going to be.
Yeah.
Now they're more worried about the some of the AFC divisions.
Wait, what's New England's record? 8-2 right now?
No, they're not even that good. Oh yeah, I take it back. 8-2
Okay.
exactly.
I knew it was 8-2 or 7-3. I was like, man, can a 7-3 team really be better than a 9-1 team?
Yeah, but they got an 8-2 team doing better than the Cardinals.
I think it's just because of their stomping victories that they've had recently.
And what's awesome is
what's so fun. When did they lose their 2 games? Didn't they lose those the first 2 games of the season, or in the first 3 games of the season?
They lost to Miami game 1, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then, all right, let's go to division. New England, where are
Well,
you?
I'm not too worried. I'm glad that the Packers are ranked 3 because I think that's actually around where they belong. I do think that their recent performance, they had like a little slump in the middle there. They started off good. They slumped off a bit, I think. And then now they're looking really strong again. So I think the Packers have got a great chance. Dude, just Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers. That's all you need to say, really. Eddie Lacy's a great man to have in the backfield too. And they do a great job protecting Aaron on the front line. And their defense is not the best ever, but it doesn't matter if the enemy team can score 27 points against you in a game. That's not ideal. But if you average 40 points a game, then it's like, okay, whatever. Who cares? We'll outscore you by two touchdowns anyway.
Yeah, that's us.
That's how like the Patriots were for like ever. It's like, oh yeah, we'll give up 31, but we'll score 49. No big.
But we'll see what happens to the Chiefs after this weekend when they put out the new power rankings. They probably haven't put them out yet because we still.
I say they drop below the Eagles.
Well, Thursday counts at. Well, it depends on how the Eagles do.
And it depends how the Broncos do because this is just the beginning of the week.
It is, and I think if Miami beats the Broncos.
Dude, that would be insane. I would freak out.
I mean, the Broncos dropped 4 spots.
I'd whip out my penis
St.
on
Louis
the
beat them.
podcast and just go to town right in front of everybody like,
Yeah, you like those Dolphins? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. I was even talking to Brandon. My son and I, we took the dogs for a walk today, and we were talking about how you were a Ravens fan, and then all of your favorite players in the Ravens got traded away after the Super Bowl win, and so you had no interest in the Ravens after that. You're not from Baltimore or anything. You're Alaskan, so you get to pick any team you want, anyways. And then you were really digging what Seattle was doing, and there was a couple players that you liked, and you said Seattle was going to be a badass team. They won the Super Bowl. That's twice.
Yeah.
That's 2
I
out of
just
2.
think that was a coincidence. But by the way,
It could be a coincidence. But now we got Miami kicking ass all of a sudden. In the beginning of the season, you picked Miami to surprise everybody. And it would surprise everybody if Miami came out of nowhere and got to the Super Bowl.
well, I think it would have surprised everybody. I would be sufficed with them beating the Broncos this week. That would just be like, I don't even care if they go out in the first round of the playoffs, don't even make the play. Like if they win this game, I will literally go around. Oh, my girlfriend's a Broncos fan too, so this is gonna be an interesting weekend. But I will literally go around to everyone I see with the Broncos thing on. I'm like, Dolphins fan.
Dolphins fan.
Because there's like none. I met one this week. It's like the first Dolphins fan I've ever met in Alaska. So yeah, I mean, who knows? It's not like if this was the era of Dan Marino, I bet I could go around and find a lot of Dolphins fans.
That's true.
But like since he retired and the Dolphins dropped off into like obscurity, like nobody's really liked them. I'm like, dude, they're actually like last year they were interesting. So.
Oh yeah, and it's not like the Dolphins are a bad team. I mean, the only thing they're missing is that big name quarterback. And Tannehill's not a bad quarterback. In fact, for a young guy who's just starting out, he's doing fine. What the Dolphins have is a badass defense. They've got an impressive offensive line, and instead of a big name receiver, they've got 5 different guys that consistently get over 40 yards a game.
Which they do have Mike Wallace, which will always take. But they have like really good receivers overall. Like the average level is really high.
And a lot of fast guys too.
But Mike Wallace will always take up the best cornerback, which is good because you have a lot of receivers that can beat other average cornerbacks, which is helpful. Okay, so moving away from the Dolphins, because we didn't come here to talk about the Dolphins. Supposedly, we came to talk about the Packers and the Chiefs. But I have a question for you. Like, I have an opinion question for you about the Packers. Okay, so I want you to give me like one sentence about about 3 sentences. Compare and contrast the Broncos from the Patriots from the Packers, because those teams are all on the top of the league right now, right?
Right.
I think they play almost the same game. Like, almost all those teams play a very similar game. None of them are very reliant on defense. All of them have great offensive lines.
Well, I think I think the defense is a big part of it, because last year what the Broncos was missing was defense. And what they also were missing was practice playing against good defenses, because nobody in the AFC had a defense worth of shit last year. New England was the only one. And Kansas City's defense scored a lot of points, but they couldn't stop anybody from scoring. Now, this year, New England and the Broncos both. I've gone way over 3 sentences. My bad. But they've both gotten their defenses shored up. Tom Brady got Gronkowski back after they developed a rushing game because of the lack of receivers at the end of last season. And the Broncos shored up their defense by getting DeMarcus Ware, which was one of the only bright lights of the Cowboys the year before. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden they're kicking ass again too.
Yeah. And
all 3 teams have Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers. That's probably all I had to say.
Okay. Now controversial. Tough question. Maybe not for you. For me. Rate Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and who's the one I'm missing now? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton Manning. Yeah, I was having a brain fart.
I'm going to go ahead and put Peyton Manning
how do you rate
at 3 there.
Peyton Manning at 3?
No. It's almost a 3-way tie. If
you have to do it. You have to rate them though. You can't cop out of this one.
Then I'm gonna give Tom Brady number 1 because he's got how many rings? 4 now? 3
or 4.
3 or 4. He's got more than 1. That's all Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning.
When this, you know how for a while the Yankees just dominated the MLB.
Yeah.
Okay, that made baseball really boring for me. So that was when I was little and actually played baseball.
Unless you were a
I
Yankees
stopped
fan.
watching baseball. Because it was we knew the Yankees would do well.
Yep.
When the Patriots were winning, between 2000 and 2004, I believe it was, when the Patriots were just dominating the whole league.
They won 3 out of 4 years.
It made even though as a kid I really loved football, it just made football not fun for me anymore. I just knew who was gonna win the Super Bowl. Just looked at every single week. It was the Patriots stomped them again. No one was on the level of the Patriots. So. Yeah, it's 3 or 4. That's why I was telling you that.
Well,
story.
that's what's so great about this year is because they've got some. At least now the Patriots, even though they're as good as they ever were before, I think they've got more competition now. Back when I first started watching football, I was a 49ers fan right off the bat, and we had Joe Montana and then Steve Young, and we had a lot of badass players. All we needed was Jerry Rice and a good quarterback. But we had, but for competition, we had to deal with John Elway and the Broncos. We had to deal with Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. We had to deal with Dan Marino and the Dolphins. Brett Favre at his best. I mean, there was a lot of really good... And back then, the Raiders were still good, too. The Bears still had Urlacher. I mean, there was a lot of competition. A lot of really, really good teams that could have done well. And in those years that New England just dominated everybody... They were so good that the second best team wasn't anywhere near as good as they are.
Yeah, right. They were just they were on the next level.
Right, like last year, I mean, the only team that was even close to as good as Seattle was San Francisco last year. And
yeah, I'd agree. I think so I agree with that with a little caveat. Number 1, if they played the Super Bowl twice, I don't think the second game would have gone that exact same way. I don't think that the Broncos would have lost by as much. I still think they would have gotten beat. But I don't think they would have gotten stomped into the ground like that.
So if Super Bowls all of a sudden became a best 2 out of 3, do you think it would have gone to a third game?
No, I don't think it would have gone to a third game, but I don't think the second game would have gone, the Broncos would not be getting their heads kicked in the way that, it happened the first game.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I do think that what you're saying has merit because the defenses would literally shut down the offenses, so it just would depend on the offense's ability to make plays happen, which for whatever reason on that day Seattle was super able to make things happen. But against a tighter defense, who knows what would
that's true.
Those plays that were just barely making it for a nice first a clutch first down could have been an interception.
Offensively, Seattle had the way with the Broncos. Defensively, Peyton Manning still had the broken neck, and so I mean he was doing the best he could. And
yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I forget where our original point was. So,
ratings.
We're ranking
Tom Brady's going number 1. I love Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning. He's one of the most impressive cerebral quarterbacks in the game, and probably of all time. But he's not the same athlete that Aaron Rodgers is, so I'm going to give Aaron Rodgers number 2.
Okay.
Because Aaron Rodgers is also smart. He's also precise. He's also accurate. But he's also a better athlete than both Tom Brady and Peyton Manning combined.
Would you say just out of the way that you decide to rate players or like players, do you think that athletic ability has a lot to do with that? for example, like, you love Kaepernick. You love Kaepernick. You love him more than you did Alex Smith, right? Because when he got traded, you're like, this is a good trade for us. I know it's good. Is that because Kaepernick is obviously a more athletic person?
It's because I like both quarterbacks, but in different ways. The reason why I like...
Right, which is why I'm, like, saying, do you grade them more heavily on their athletic ability, which is why you would give... I'm just asking as a question. I'm not assuming
and I'm
anything.
trying to think of the best answer. And honestly, what it is, I include that in one of the attributes I'm grading. And if the two players are even... like, let's say Alex Smith is a smarter quarterback than Kaepernick, but only a little bit smarter. and if you give the credit to that... if you give the credit for that attribute to experience, Kaepernick didn't have a chance to compete because it was only his second year. But a lot of the things that Alex Smith was really good at, Kaepernick was better because of his athleticism.
Okay.
And that athleticism combined with his age. It wasn't that I thought Kaepernick was a better quarterback than Alex Smith. It was that Kaepernick could grow into a better quarterback than anybody else in the league if he had the right tutelage.
I don't know.
And I thought he did with...
It depends, dude. It depends if he can really fortify his mental state well enough. Because
Right.
I think that the quarterbacks that are the best have the best mental state out of, like, like, at least as far as, like, passing quarterbacks.
And Kaepernick is not as cool under pressure as Alex Smith. Alex Smith is... It reminds me of Tom Brady the way he plays. Or Aaron Rodgers the way he plays. More like Aaron Rodgers. Alex Smith reminds me of almost as good as Aaron Rodgers.
He's like Aaron Rodgers light.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers light.
But he has I think he has moments of pure brilliance within him.
Alex Smith has some mojo. I saw him play against the Saints and out quarterback Drew Brees.
And this is back when, like, the Niners had no offense.
Right, we had nobody to throw the ball to. We had Crabtree was still out of the game from his ACL injury. We had Vernon Davis, and that was it. That was before we got.
And this was also before Drew Brees was kind of like considered an old man by most people. And I think most people consider Drew Brees a little old right now.
They do, yep.
Like, but he's not like. I mean, it's hard to put him in the same boat as Peyton Manning because they are pretty much the same age. I think they're both in their late 30s. I believe.
Yeah, I want to compare Drew Brees more to like Ben Roethlisberger and Tony Romo. They have shines of brilliance, but they're just not on the same level that the three we're talking about really are.
Yeah. And
in fact, I would even put Alex Smith above those three because of how cool he is under pressure. I mean, he really is. I mean, he's a smart freaking quarterback. He just has never had the weapons. In his entire career, he has never had the weapons. When he finally started getting the weapons, he did fantastic until he got hurt. And then the young guy came out and
I just love it. I like Alex Smith. I
do too.
I have to say that I do like him better as a quarterback. Like I'm talking whole package here. I still to this day like him better than Kaepernick. But I think that if Kaepernick continued, okay, so the difference between this season and last season, I really like Kaepernick a lot better than I did last season. And if the trend continues, by like 2 seasons from now, Kaepernick will be my favorite quarterback in the whole NFL.
If the receivers Kaepernick throws the ball to can catch the ball instead of letting it bounce off the
I know,
numbers.
It's so sad, dude.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him because, like, you're making the right decision. It's just not working.
And every now and then...
Sorry, Kaepernick.
And
I'm
every
sorry.
now and then he misthrows. Every now and then he makes a crappy decision. But guess what? So does every other quarterback in the fucking league. And don't you dare tell me Peyton Manning never makes a mistake.
Yeah, no. No one's saying that.
But because his receivers can't catch the ball, and because on the times they probably would have caught the ball, he missed throws. The combination of that makes him look like an inferior quarterback. And he
doesn't put up numbers, and then it's like it's what do you left to go off of? If there's no numbers, then what do you go off of? Good intentions and
his
well
numbers
wishes.
His numbers aren't even that bad. I mean, he does not.
No, considering all the things that he has to fucking put up with,
right?
His numbers are really not that bad.
No, and his lack of interceptions is something I'm impressed with, which is another reason why I've always liked Alex Smith. So that's another comparison where if you combine their attributes, they're really, really close. And I had to give the nod to Kaepernick because of his potential in the future years when he's been in the league as long as Alex Smith had at that point. I think Kaepernick will be better than Alex Smith was at that point.
I have to agree with you. At least for the Niners' sake, I think Kaepernick eventually, if he can, So here's Kaepernick. He's going like this. If he goes like this and flattens out immediately, like after this podcast, he just never improves and stays the same, then I think it would have been better to stick with Alex. But if he continues on this, like, he's not going up like, woo, like Cam Newton on his second season he had, where he's like, bam, bam, I'm a boss, like, you know, take the Panthers to like 10-5 or whatever they went last season.
And then do shitty the following year, yeah.
Yeah, no, he sucks, apparently.
Well, and if Alex Smith had 6-foot-long fucking
But
legs,
yeah,
I'd
like,
probably root for him too.
Yeah. The thing about Cam Newton, though, is that he was like, boom, and now he's like, woo, back down. Like, if Kaepernick continues on this, like, slow rise, he will become an amazing quarterback that can lead that team to a Super Bowl. There's no doubt in my mind that that can happen, because I think Harbaugh's a great coach, despite, like, controversial shit surrounding him. Like, I think that he always makes the move that he thinks is the best for the organization. Anyway, back to the original question we had. I'm gonna give you my top three because you gave me yours. Yep. You said Tom Brady, Aaron
Rodgers, and Peyton Manning.
Okay.
And I'm only giving Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers because even though they're both really good at almost all the same things, I like Aaron Rodgers' athleticism, but Tom Brady's got the three rings.
Okay.
And so Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning.
Maybe I should have rephrased the question. I'm talking like best right now. Do you stick by that for like best at the moment? Like top three at the moment? I'm not saying top three of all time. I would ask you that if like, you know, I thought any of them would retire, but I don't think any of them are retiring.
Like if they were on a video game, which one would have the highest attributes on their...
No, I'm just saying which is the best, like top three, like right now, you know, who do you give the best chance to lead their team to a Super Bowl?
It's so hard to figure it out because they don't have the same teams. If you could pick the same receivers...
No, I don't. I'm just saying, like, from what you know. I don't want to go on another rabbit trail.
I know.
So,
I'm sorry.
So you stick by that. You stick by that top three, right? Like at the moment.
Tom Brady's freaking good, but Aaron Rodgers, he's got it all. He can run. He can throw. He's pinpoint. If he's got receivers, you know what? I take it all back. As of right now, today in 2014, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, then Peyton Manning.
Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league.
Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback in the league.
All right, that is a quote. We'll be going back to that in future weeks when the Packers no doubt bomb out to some random team. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so
this year it would not surprise me.
I'm gonna give you mine, and I don't think none of the picks are actually the same. I'm going Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I do think Tom Brady is good, but I also think that he is more likely to swing into like a state of depression in the middle of a game. Like, if things don't go well in the first half, I have seen Tom Brady come back, but I think that he's a little bit more emotional. And sometimes if you get emotional, it can lead to not, like, you know, who knows? It could make you have, like, this amazing second half. Like, if your team is losing by a bit, you're not having a good first half, you threw some interceptions, it could lead to you making some bad decisions. It could lead to you, like, you know, coming back in some miraculous way and winning. But I like the level-headedness of Peyton Manning better. I think that he's really just always thinking, like, what can I do to do this better? Like, what can I do better on the next possession? What can I do better on the next quarter? What can I do better on the next play? Like, that's all he's concerned with himself with. Like, you know, all that he thinks about is this game. And all that he thinks about is, like he's like a robot. And then I like the versatility of Aaron Rodgers better. And I think that his willingness to throw, like, I don't know.
He's the Larry Bird of football.
Yeah, okay. That's a good analogy.
And Aaron Rodgers is the Jordan, I guess. I don't know. And then you got Tom Brady, who's like the Magic.
Okay. I don't know if you could say that Aaron Rodgers is Michael Jordan because Aaron Rodgers is not the best quarterback of all time. Unfortunately. He's good. He's not the best of all time, you know. You got a lot of competition for that.
But they're good at different things. Like there were things that Larry Bird was better than Michael Jordan at. Just like there were things that Magic Johnson was better at.
Would you ever tell me that Michael Jordan was a worse player than Larry Bird overall in his career?
No, Michael Jordan was that badass.
Who could even say that LeBron James is better than Michael? No one can say that shit. Like Michael Jordan was the best. Like I would say that he was the best athlete of all time. For fuck's sake.
Maybe Jerry Rice.
No. Michael Jordan's best athlete of all time. Now, I don't even know if you can dispute that. Like, you can, but you would lose.
Alright, but Jerry's a close
Okay, actually, hold on. Wilt Chamberlain is the only basketball player that can like
that has ever scored over 100 points. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but he was also like so dominant in his time. Like you have to consider how dominant they are in their own time, you know, versus their competition. And I don't think you can make any cases besides Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and a lot of it, and how successful a player is, it's the players around him too. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers played on that same Patriots team that won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls, they would have won 4 out of 4. Am I wrong?
Wait, sorry, run that by me again. I was thinking about something else.
If the New England Patriots had Aaron Rodgers instead of Tom Brady 10 years ago when they won the Super
No, I think that Tom Brady 4 years ago is probably, you know, like just as good as Aaron Rodgers now, or Aaron Rodgers in his peak.
You think Aaron Rodgers?
I think in their peaks, Tom Brady would be better than Aaron Rodgers, but I say right now that Aaron Rodgers is better.
You think the Giants would have beat Aaron Rodgers with the Patriots that game?
I think the Giants had just like the luckiest fucking game ever on that one, and it was amazing to watch, and it was like the underdog story.
Does Eli Manning have more rings than his brother?
I think
they have
he
2?
might. I think he has 2. Yeah. We'd have to look it up though. I don't want to talk out of my ass on that one.
Okay, so those.
I don't want to diss Peyton Manning because I think he's the best quarterback in the league right now.
I know, and I'm gonna stick with my picks anyway, even though I agree with you. It's weird, but all right. So those are those 3.
It just depends. Like the reason that our picks are different is because we value different things in a quarterback.
You're right. And I was trying to argue with you that I don't hold athleticism above the mental aspect of it. But you're right. Maybe I do, even though I wouldn't have thought I did. Because I understand the benefit of having a cerebral quarterback.
Well,
like that.
but then, like, just because he knows exactly how it should unfold, like how like he envisions it unfolding, there's things that happen that like you can't. He's like a computer, you know, like he's a fucking robot. Like not Tom Brady. Peyton Manning is a robot, dude. Like, if, you know, say, like, 2 people run into each other or a receiver slips, that happens sometimes, man. And that was what he was like, this is what will get them. This receiver making this cut at this time at this point in the field, you know.
Like, he knows that guy's going to slip, so he throws it to the other guy. Or
No. He can't know that guy slips. And he's looking for that guy. He's like, where is that guy? Oh, he fell. Boom, sack, fumble. Like, he's not going to be like, oh, shit, I don't see my guy. Oh, there's people coming. Run for it. Like, you know, like, he's not going to scramble around. Though I did see him. It was him or somebody else. Just dodge out this tackle amazingly on the last game. Like,
that's probably Kaepernick when he did that against the Saints. When he scrambled out and, like, threw that deep 51-yarder to Crabtree. And
oh, yeah. That was pretty insane.
He caught the ball, yeah!
Dude, that was such a crazy moment because that was 4th and 10. Me and you were both like, oh god, they're gonna lose. And then it's like 51 yards. Oh my god! Oh, that was a great game.
That was a great game. Okay, so we got those 3 quarterbacks that we're talking about.
I think
as
we
of
beat
how they're playing right now, and keep athleticism in there. Consider the fact that the Colts do not have the same weapons that the Broncos and the Patriots have right now. What about Andrew Luck? Is he up there?
Jeez. I don't know if I can put him ahead of any of those 3 players.
I don't watch the.
I would
Colts
say
enough,
that he
but
is for sure top 5. I don't know if I can put him top 3. I don't think he beats out any of those 3 quarterbacks.
I can't put him in the top 3 either.
I would say he's 4 or 5. And number 4, then Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford sneaks in there as number 5 for me.
Rivers.
Rivers, he's a great.
Chargers?
He's a great quarterback, but I don't think he. I think he's more of
sometimes.
top 10 material. I don't know if he's top 5 material for me.
Yeah, so for top 10...
I think Stafford's been good for like years and just like put up yards for years.
And that guy's got a gun on him. Holy cow. His arm's as good as Kaepernick's.
Anyway, okay, so I was thinking about splitting up the sports in the shenanigans. So do you want to round up sports now, or do you want to do our picks now?
You know what? I love the conversation we've just had, but yes, I'm down to change the subject.
Well, we've been on it for like an hour and 15 minutes, so
I have no preference. We can knock out the picks real quick. No, let's wait for the picks.
All right.
There's always a chance that random guests might show up.
Yes.
Randomly.
All right. So hopefully he does. We should text him in this. We're gonna take a quick break. So thank you for watching so far, and yeah.
I wish I could play music for you, but apparently
it'll be copyrighted, so
copyrighted.
we can't. Yeah. All right.